all the time.
Yeah, cool. So we're already started, man, and I love the rolling start. It's cool beans. But shout out to you for throwing a dope ass event last night and putting on a good performance. But I wanted to ask you this question: what is the feeling like after you get off stage?
Yeah. It always kind of varies, to be honest, because sometimes the events and the crowd that are there are like really acceptive of the music, and I'm very confident in what I bring to the table, especially nowadays with the line of urban music that I've been making and that we're putting out. So I know where I come from and I know what I'm valued at. So whether people really like it or people don't, I'm always centered.
Gotcha.
But to answer your question, man, it's always interesting, and it always depends on the venue and the people that are there. Because sometimes, even though I think it's all good and everything, the people don't react to it well, and people are just like not giving you what you maybe think they should be respecting.
Sure. And
so then it can be kind of awkward. But then there's most of the time what happens. People are very accepting of the music, and so. Man, people just come up to you and people are just showing you love and want to take pictures, want to exchange Instagram accounts or whatever. It's like, it's really cool. It really, especially as an upcoming artist, it really like, it's like, okay, I am on the right track. You know what I mean? I'm still centered, like I said. Whether people really hype me up or really don't like me, I'm still centered. But it does feel nice when people after the show come up to you and say, hey, and present you with certain opportunities. That's how a lot of these shows that I've done in the last year and every show that I'm doing right now. And I mean, it's just based off little shows I do, small, bigger, medium shows. Yeah. People approach you with opportunities. Yeah. I'm a DJ. I'm so-and-so.
Right.
I know so-and-so or whatever. Sometimes it's real. Sometimes it's not. That's just how the business works. Most of the times people are pretty organic and authentic when they come up to me with things like that.
That's sweet.
Saying thank you for the music. I appreciate you just an artist. Why don't we try to do something?
Yeah.
So it's a really cool feeling, man.
Nice.
It just lets me know that I'm on the right path.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic that you're talking about, like you show up to a show and then get presented opportunities after. It's funny how that tends to happen in life when you show up, even though you may not feel like showing up. Generally, from my experience, something you meet somebody or you learn something that helps push you forward in life. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting thing that you were talking about. But I also wanted to talk about like what is the feeling before you get on stage?
Yeah,
because we were talking a little bit about that yesterday.
Right? Yeah. We were sitting down, we're waiting for me to go on, and you were like, man, so what's it like? When you before you go on stage, and I think I said something along the words of it depends again on how big the venue is, and also how many times I've been there. Because if I've been there for a while, then, you're more familiar, you're more comfortable having that interaction with that crowd because you know what to expect. But most of the time, it's this butterfly feeling, man. Yeah. And it's this butterfly kind of feeling, and it's excitement. It's not scared. And you were touching on this, actually, how people misconduct that for like, oh, I'm scared, I've got butterflies. And it's more pivot that thought into, no, it's an excitement feeling. Yeah. Don't let your mind trick you. Exactly. And it's very true. And I've never thought about it that way, actually, Marty. So when you said that last night, I was like,
kind of blew my mind too when I heard it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've been doing that since I was young. I've been performing since I was 11. That was my first performance for the DARE program back in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I grew up. And I guess I've always, when you said that, I'm like, I guess I've always done that. I've just never thought about that way. Right. That small pivot. Yeah. Butterflies is not scary. Butterflies, man, this is exciting.
Yeah, I forgot who told me that.
Yeah. And I don't know who I heard, a big like artist. I don't know if it was James Brown or like Juan Gabriel, who's a huge, the hugest like Latin artist in Mexico. Rest in peace. I heard an interview once and they're like, man, the moment that I lose butterflies before a show, I'm done. I'll get out of the business. There's no point for me to be here. Right. If I'm just there like, all right, it's like, I'm just gonna get out. And I was like, that is so true. Yeah. It's that butterfly feeling you get. And if you don't feel that, I feel like I'm gonna do the same. If I don't feel that, I will stop performing. Yeah. I should probably find a different business to be in. Right. And I still get that feeling every time.
Right. Yeah, and I think that is a common feeling amongst everybody when they're about to do something that is a little bit out of their comfort zone or a little bit risky, right? And so many people, whenever they get those feelings, kind of tend to back out. Maybe not. I'm sure that I've done that. Say, for example, like if I see a girl that is attractive. Perfect example.
Prime.
So relatable across everywhere. Like, and then I'll get these of the like butterfly feelings of nervousness or excitement. And there's plenty of times where I just like don't go up to her and chat her up because I'm nervous. I'm worried about what other people are thinking of me. Is she gonna deny me? Or are other people gonna see that? But if you change that into like excitement, which it is pretty exciting, then I think it changes the dynamic. Instead of saying like, oh, I'm scared, I got the butterflies, use them to your advantage and say, hey, this is just my body getting ready for something exciting that's about to happen. And I used to get that same feeling when I was skating and I was about to like do a trick that was pretty difficult. Yeah, I would get those butterflies and I'd say, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, because I would go bail off and then just get the butterflies. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and then boom. So I would imagine that's kind of how you feel whenever you're trying to get on stage or going on stage, just like fuck it, like let's do it. And that's why the question was prompted, like what is that feeling like after you're fucking kind of fighting yourself, right? Maybe having a little bit of doubts, and then you just go up there and you have a good performance and people are hitting you up after. I would imagine that feels amazing.
Of course it does. Yeah, like I said, it just feels so cool. It lets you know you're on the right track. And it's just like that, especially when I was really, really young. I'm 28 now. When I was 11 years, I was 11, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember feeling just like that. The first times I was like, man, I don't know. But I was always able to overcome and jump. Yes. I think it was Will Smith. Shout out to Will Smith. Who said like the greatest things in life are right across I'm paraphrasing now, are around the corner of fear.
I see.
Right? So like, it's like you would think the fear does stop you from jumping, right? From whatever is thing, talking to a girl, doing a show, whatever it may be. But it's like, if you just like you said, just jump, go for it. Yeah. Butterfly flicks means it's exciting. Yeah. The reward is literally around the corner. And then that's where people fail. That's where people don't jump. That's where they don't, that extra opportunity doesn't come. That extra conversation doesn't come. That girl doesn't say yes to the second date because you were afraid of rejection or whatever. But if you would just hold on, right around the corner is the reward. Yeah. Man, I remember hearing that. And I'm like, again, I think I've always done that in my personal life and in my business and how I run my business with music. I just never really thought of it. There's a lot of things that I do I don't even think. And thanks to the internet, thanks to, how there's so much information, I remember hearing that also, man, and being like, wow, that is so true. I can so relate to that. Yeah.
It's very relatable kind of truth for life. Yeah. Okay. So I had a couple questions that I'd wanted to ask you that I
shoot away, Marty.
Wrote down.
Shoot away.
But just talking about like music business, and because you've been doing this for a while now, and you've been grinding and putting in the work. For like people who are maybe just starting off, what are some of the things that helped you in developing and progressing within the music industry with your music career?
For sure. Yeah, man. I've been in Los Angeles for about 5 years almost now. But that does not mean that's when I started to pursue music. An opportunity came up, a couple opportunities came up where I was able to make that move, and I've been permanently here. I mean, every single day I sleep it, I eat it, I watch it. I mean, sometimes it's hard to turn off. But to answer your question, I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, just developing as an artist, as a performer when I was 11 years old, right? As a songwriter. And what really has helped me develop into the music, whether it's music business or the creation part of it, because it's both, Marty, right? You can make music in your basement all day long, and that's cool. But then there's also the music business, and that's where I want to be. So I'm always learning on that end. I'm always learning on the creative end. And what really helps on the creative end is collaboration. Shout out to Nine Diamond, once again, Johnny Olmos, which we've known him for years now. Yes. He's someone who's always had his doors open for me and always willing to help. And you're able to work with another creative mind and shape your sound. And we were in those early stages working on my EPs, even though that's not even the style of music I'm making anymore. I had to go through that process,
Right.
you know, of working on my craft and figuring out what resonates with me as an artist. You know, I always knew the moment you find what's organic to you and authentic to you as an artist, that's it. And guess what's happening now, Marty? People are loving the Latin urban music. My mother has always told me, you should sing in Spanish. You should sing Spanish. I would never do it. I just never thought I could do it. I, in a million years, never thought I'd be making Spanish music, as crazy as that sounds. That's crazy, right? And like, I'm originally from Mexico City. It's my roots. And I grew up in Minneapolis. It's like, so it just works. And man, anytime we go and do these shows, it just works. Like, people just like it because they can tell it's authentic. So collaboration really helps developing me as an artist. And just staying in the studio. I mean, putting in time, paying studio time, you know, just trying internet, YouTube. I mean, me and Santos, shout out to Santos. He helps me manage, he and I are managing my situation together, as far as getting shows and everything. We always talk about YouTube University. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. You have to be willing to search for the information. That helps you develop as whatever you want to do. In this case, an artist.
Absolutely.
Just trying over and over again, learning from my mistakes. You know, learning from, you know, playback and video for performances. Man, when I was an early performer, I used to yell. I
remember you telling me the first time.
Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah.
I would yell. This is like before high school. Like, I would yell to people, and you know, the only way you develop is by looking and watching yourself. And, you know, having people who, you gotta be very careful about the people you keep around. But having people who you trust. My mother has, till this day, she is very, very, very involved in my music process.
Wow.
Very involved with what's going on with the budgets. Very involved, who are you surround yourself with. Very involved, when is the next show. What is going on with the music videos. Everything. Shout out to my mom. Number one fan, number one manager. I mean, she lets me do what I gotta do. But I guess I'm telling you that to say that part of development is also who you're around with.
Yeah.
Johnny, Santos, my mother, you know what I mean? Various people who I've met in the past who have helped me develop, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some of them I don't talk to anymore. You know, sometimes you grow together, sometimes you grow apart. That's all right. That's part of life.
Right.
But thanks to those relationships, I'm able to develop my craft and the business.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. You are who you hang around with. Another kind of cliche, basic truth about truth about life. Yeah, I mean, Nine Diamond and Santos, I've kind of had that understanding that they are helping you in your business and helping you in your music development. But I didn't know your mom. That's pretty interesting. I mean, who better to trust than the person that, you know, just like loves you unconditionally. And,
oh my God.
And will tell you, like, I guess you have to be objective as well, because your mom could be like, oh yeah, you're the shit, and then maybe you're not the shit, you know what I'm saying? So because she just loves you so much,
right?
So you do have to, I guess you would have to be careful about that. But having other people, I was in Toastmasters. It's this public speaking organization.
Oh, cool.
And you would give speeches, and then you would have people critique you and what they like, what they didn't like, and just
about your speech. Oh, got it.
And just that third party perspective is so helpful, because there's stuff that you don't even know you're doing. Like you said, when you're watching those tapes, you're like, what in the fuck am I doing? That doesn't even make sense. And so you can cut that out. But video is very important, because you get to play that back and watch the way that you are performing in your case, and pick out the things that you do like and pick out the things that you don't like, you know. And so it's a very cool way of feedback.
Absolutely. I always find it interesting, just a side note, when I watch like Jimmy Kimmel or something, and they're interviewing an actor, really famous actor. You watch your own stuff, and sometimes I think they're lying. They're like, I don't ever watch my own movies. I'm like, how could you ever do that? Like, how would you improve? In my mind is how I think. So it just made me think of that.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, some of the stuff, I guess it depends on what you're trying to get better at. But I guess if you're like, have other methods of criticism or like self-criticism, then I think those are just as valid.
Sure.
But video is a great one. Cool, man. You know, so maybe another question or two, and then we'll wrap it up.
Let's do it.
You know.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so like, where do you go from here? You're making the music videos, you're doing the performances. Like, what is some of the things that Jairo has on his mind as far as like taking it to the next level?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good question, Marty. And if I can be completely transparent with you, is repetition. I, in my mind and in my heart, and this is something I know, and it may sound crazy to people. I'm an international Latin urban recording artist. That's just what I know. You may not see that. People may not know that. It's all right. They don't, because it's about the process. But in my mind, you know, that's just what I am. That's what I was born to do. I was born to perform, give good music, give quality entertainment to people on a global scale. If I was to die today, I really, 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 really do believe that the world would be short of somebody great. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm not saying that to be like cocky. Absolutely not. That's just the self-belief that I have within me.
Which is extremely important.
Yeah, which is extremely important. How I view myself. Whatever you feel, whatever you comes back. And that's just what I know, and that's just what I feel. But to answer your question, you were saying what are the next big things as a local artist, right? Even though I feel I am an international type player, right? As a local artist in Los Angeles is repetition. And I think right now what we've been doing these local shows for free, doing quality music videos. I don't go super big on those budgets, but it's a nice little budget for the videos to actually compete and fight through the noise of billion of people on the internet doing the exact same thing I'm doing.
Right.
It's repetition. Honestly, I think right now, continuing doing those shows, continuing to do the videos, entertaining the people, continuing to get in the studio and, believe it or not, get better at my craft, get better at songwriting, get better at the whole thing, arranging the songs, collaboration with other artists, the right producers. Everybody always hits you up and says, "Hey, can you, man?" And what I've learned is we gotta be on the same parallel path. There's no way that there's any type of collaboration that would and I mean, I'm just being real, that's going to benefit as long as if I can see that an artist is putting the same amount of money in their budgets for the videos, or more, it's hustling at every show, trying to make connections, and they're doing it for free at every show in LA, and they're in the right type of music and we vibe. Yo, let's do it. At no charge, I will do it for free. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about building,
right,
as a local artist and helping each other. You know, so collaboration is really big, which I am doing. You know what I mean? I'm collaborating, I'm doing shows, doing videos, staying consistent on social media is really big, especially with these algorithms that they now have. You got to stay really consistent, and that alone is tough to just be able to do that. At the moment, that's where I'm at with it, to be honest with you, Marty. It's just repetition, get the name out there. I used to think that I needed to perfect my sound and I would be in the studio forever. I'm no longer there. I no longer need to have spend so much time in the studio.
Right.
It's there. I mean, you can always get better, but it's there. And now I am at the point, at the next level here. The next level is getting the artist out, get him known. All we have to do is do more things like these. More people like you approaching me and taking the chance and the opportunity. Let's interview this guy. Why don't we do a podcast? Why don't you come a DJ? Why don't you come perform my set? Hey man, let's do a collaboration. Man, I just got to continue. My team and I got to continue to do that until we start gaining leverage.
Gotcha.
And the leverage is the people.
Gotcha.
Gaining the respect of the public, the fans.
Gotcha.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm here to do. And I think Los Angeles is a great place to start. And here we are, man. I'm going to continue to do it. And when opportunities come, I'll take them. And I'm sure some of those will take it to the next level. Yeah. But for now, this is what I'm doing.
Well, hey, man, you're doing a great job. I see you hustling. I see your social media posts. I see you getting out there and doing the damn thing. So, best of luck to you on your path, man. And thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. I'd love to come back. Anything that Santos and I can do for you, you let us know. I really appreciate you coming to the show last night. So, any party, we'll do it. We're a team. Let's grow together.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what we need to do. Let's grow together, help each other build up.
Absolutely.
Build up.
Absolutely. Cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you, man.
Peace, peace.